Manage your entire infrastructure, including third-party devices, at a glance with SEC's state-of-the-art dashboard that provides a comprehensive snapshot of your data center. Within the dashboard, operational staff can gain insight on device health rollup, activity timeline tracking, pod health, and data center pod level analytics and telemetry. SuperCloud Composer's data-rich analytics engine provides you with predictive analytics and full insight in the performance of your data center with live statistics, historical information, and IT telemetry. When your administrators complete login successfully, they are granted read access to a data center global dashboard. Let's jump into the dashboard and examine its contents. So this is the landing pad. So we've actually navigated to this SEC appliance through their web UI, the landing pad we use to log in successfully into SEC. So let's log in using global admin privilege. We can simply use admin and then go ahead and enter our password. And when we enter our password, we're immediately navigated into the global dashboard. The global dashboard provides really a 20,000 foot view of your data center, gives you a comprehensive, holistic view of what's essentially happening in your data center. We provide analytics. We provide the ability to drill down into more detailed information about health itself. So I want to first of all focus on the left-hand side. The left-hand side is really modules that are part of the SEC appliance, and they are locked out based on your role. So the role would be the type of task that you're performing within your data center. A server architect would only be given certain modules, and then a server or a network administrator would be provided the network component itself. A data scientist or architect would be provided with CDI access. If you notice in the dashboard, it's broken down into quadrants. And each quadrant represents a technology bucket that we focus on. And by clicking on any one of the quadrants, you could provide insight into what is happening within that component, such as health rollup. So we see here that 9.147 and 9.148 are exhibiting some type of health critical rollup. And so by clicking here, we'll get into the monitoring detail that we can launch. The other thing I want to point out is in the middle here, in the middle portion, it provides you with the number of systems that have been registered within SuperCloud Composer to monitor. Devices such as JBOF, just a bunch of flash, JBOD, just a bunch of GPUs, and Ethernet switches are been registered within SuperCloud Composer to be monitored. We also see here by clicking the physical assets, we have 10 racks and 30 drawers within our configuration. And then also by clicking on the last portion, the CDI, we see here that we've discovered 2 PCIe switches and 1 APA. So the APA stands for Accelerator Pooling Appliance. And we've discovered these 3 entities within our composable disaggregated infrastructure environment. So these would be our integrated GigIO fabrics switches and also their accelerator pooling appliance. On the right-hand side of the screen here, you'll see an activity timeline of things that are happening within SuperCloud Composer, whether they be task initiated, whether they will be the health of the SEC appliance, such as syslog information. All various events are tracked within the 20,000 foot view of your command center. If we scroll down to the bottom here, we see a aggregated telemetry and analytics of system performance and how systems are performing within your data center. And you'll see here by clicking on each one of these options on the bottom, the analytics charting comes to the foreground and others become to the background depending on what you're hovering or in your tooltip there. If we want to go ahead and scroll across here, we see really the delta events here based on average processor bandwidth, memory, threshold, I/O bandwidth. All of this data is being collected from the back end of the analytics engine, and by simply going ahead and using, say, an option that we want to look at, such as today, we can chart today's activity as far as performance and telemetry analytics, whether it be power and thermal too as well. We can collect and harvest and expose within the dashboard itself. Also, I want to point to you on the right-hand side here, we can understand more of how we're logged in to an account. We're using Global Admin. We can click on its profile here and be able to change the email address here if we wish to. We can also go ahead and look at changing the password if the need arises. You can also click on the avatar itself to put in a personal picture to gain a little bit more of a personal perspective of who is the global admin or the individual that is responsible, such as to manage your network administrator or a server architect. We also provide an activity timeline of activity that's been generated specifically for this user account. In this case, we're using Global Admin, so we would expect to see pretty much everything that's happening within SuperCloud Composer. And we can also look at really task-initiated information too as well in the list here. And this would be just filtered on that global account that we're logged into. So very useful here for being able to hone in on and really understand what's happening with the SCC appliance itself and with your infrastructure. I also want to mention here by clicking on the help, we have online help that can be provided to the user. So if there's something that you quite don't understand how to do, we provide you with the ability to a step-by-step kind of information to show you really about how something gets done with illustration of images and graphs and step-by-step to really give you insight on how you would navigate through the platform itself. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much all that we have in regards to the dashboard. And so we'll look at more detailed information on future podcasts here with some of the other areas we would expose within the dashboard.